Will I ever find the one? If you would have asked me this question few months back, my answer would be I doubt. Because I was so exhausted and tired of waiting for that perfect one that I started questioning myself like, am I not worthy enough? Am I not beautiful? Am I unlovable? Or do I stink? Have you ever felt this way? I'm sure many of the single girls have felt exactly the way I am feeling. So here's me sharing a little on this. So there were times when I felt worthless, I felt impatient, and among all of this chaos in 2020 of COVID 19 and quarantining yourself at home, I've got a lot of time to spend time with myself and the Lord. And one night, while praying, a thought just flashed through my mind, and I asked myself that does my worth depend on a guy who I haven't met, or does my worth depend on the one who has created me? And this thought has changed my entire thought process. I realized that I wasn't enjoying the time I had for myself. Instead, I spent it on hurting others, blaming others and myself, having high expectations from others. And instead of being the woman who I'm meant to be, I started pushing myself into doubt, despair, and worthlessness. Therefore, I decided that I'm not going to spend this beautiful time of singlehood, but I'm going to use this time for self discovery, to learn new things, make new friends, develop my virtues of love and joy, and to know the Lord and myself, and be confident in Him and be happy. Therefore, I tell you, and I believe that there is nothing more attractive than a beautiful, confident woman of God. I'm not saying that you cannot have the feelings of longing in your heart, because that is how we were created to be. When God created us, He said in Genesis 2:18, "It is not good for a man to be alone, and I will make a suitable companion." Therefore, we were made for love, out of love, to love, and to be loved. But we need to be aware of the ache in our hearts. Is it because of loneliness or rejection? Are we being impatient to search for someone in our life just because we are lonely? If yes, then loneliness is not the right reason to search for love, because you're going to get anything but love. And I realized that I don't need to search for love, and I can't try to get love. But this is the time for me to prepare myself to receive love. Have you ever felt rejected? Remember, man's rejection is God's protection. God's no is also an answer to your prayer. You definitely wouldn't want to love someone who doesn't love you as much as Jesus, the bridegroom, loves you and values you. Many of us are spending our energy looking forward and focusing on something that is not yet. We feel discouraged, discontent, and impatient. We even compare ourselves to others. And we are so afraid to share our struggles with chastity. We are caught up between this hypersexualized culture and a marriage obsessed church community. Theology of the body, in its most basic form, shows us that spiritual is shown through the physical, that our physical body has a sacramental purpose, that it both reveals and affects the truth of who we are. My own study of the theology of the body has shown me that the ordinary things of daily life are just as important as the great theological ideas when it comes to living out God's plan for us. I've become more conscious of how my expressions and the way I talk affect other people around me. God has created us with the ability to live, create, and love, not only in a spiritual way, but also through our bodies. And this vision of life has helped me to live out chastity. From this vantage point, it feels less like an idea from outside myself and more like a transformation of my whole person. I've been created to love and to be loved, and love has found me. So now, if you ask me, will I ever find the one? My answer would be I didn't find the one found me. And that's Jesus, who loves me more than I could ever love myself. We are always going to have that ache in our hearts, and no perfect relationship or marriage can satiate the thirst which only God can quench. He loves us so much. Imagine the author and source of love is in love with us, is in love with me, and is in love with you. How great is that, and how amazing is that? He has great plans for us. only if you and I would allow Him to work in us, only if you and I would allow ourselves to be loved by Him. He loves us so much. Believe me, only then we can sing with Our Lady. He who is mighty has done great things in me.